Welcome. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at these Philips Ultra Definition LED bulbs, and I'm going to compare it to this 10-year-old Philips 100 watt bulb. So if you find this video helpful and you want to purchase some of these, I'll put a link to them in the description, and if you use that link it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So the date I'm filming this is July 22nd, 2023. So I looked through my old receipts and I actually purchased this bulb 10 years to the day that I'm making this video. So 10 years ago, as far as I know, this was the top of the line Philips LED bulb. This is the 100 watt variant of it. And it had just a cool shape to it. It looked like kind of a space capsule. So this is aluminum here. It's an aluminum heatsink. And this bulb was very expensive 10 years ago. And they've had numerous iterations between this and today's bulb. But the specs on it is that this is 22 watts, which is high by today's standards. It's 2700K and it's 1780 lumens. And this is also dimmable. So let's take a look at the new ones here. And these are both 100 watt equivalent bulbs. So this is also 2700K. Let's actually look at the bulb facts here. So this is 2700K. Energy used is 13.5 watts. Brightness is 1600 lumens. So 1600 lumens is actually what you'd typically get out of a 100 watt incandescent light bulb. So this was actually rated a little bit higher than that. Now, one of the big differences between these bulbs is the CRI, or color rendering index. The color rendering index of this one is 80 and this one is 95. So this bulb has a very high color rendering index. So if you want a bulb to accurately represent colors, this is going to be the better option here. And as I film this is probably considered one of the better LED bulbs you can buy. Another interesting thing is that this bulb is rated for 15,000 hours, and this old bulb was rated for 25,000 hours. So this old bulb was rated for 10,000 hours more than this one. So I'll get these out of the package here. We'll compare them physically. I am going to plug them in and measure the power usage of them. And then I have two lamps that are kind of similar, and I'll put these in so I can do kind of a side-by-side. So here's the Philips Ultra Definition, and this is a glass bulb. So it actually looks very similar to a incandescent bulb. It does have the specs here written on it just like the old one did. It's just kind of hard to read. Let's see if I can zoom in on that. You can see the LED chips inside here. It almost has like the filament style. So here I have a power meter. Now I'm going to risk blinding myself when I do this, but I have a socket adapter. I'll plug this in and I'll turn this on. Then we'll look at the power meter. See if I can zoom in on just the power meter. So you can see on this bulb, these areas light up, and this bulb will get hot on the aluminum heatsink. Let's go down here and look at the amps and the watts. So this is currently drawing 23 watts, so it's rated to have 22 watts. Let's go down some more. And the power factor is 0.97. So this has an excellent power factor. I'll turn that off. And here's the new bulb. So a big difference here is this radiates the light out. These just had these little nodules here. So depending on the fixture this is in, one or the other might work a little bit better. Let's go down here. So this is currently drawing 12.5 watts. So when this bulb came out, 12.5 watt would have been a 60 watt equivalent bulb. Now it's a 100 watt equivalent bulb. So it's using almost half the power, or more accurately about 10 watts less. Let's go down through this a little more. And we have that power factor is 0.97. So also an excellent power factor. So size-wise, these bulbs are similar. The Ultra Definition is a little bit taller, but I'd say they're mostly comparable to each other. So I'm going to go get these installed in some lamps, and then we'll take a look at them. Okay, I have the bulbs installed in these two lamps. On the left is the 10-year-old LED bulb. On the right is the Ultra Definition. So I'll turn these on. There we go. So these are both plugged into a Lutron lamp dimmer. You can see that here. So right off the bat, the older bulb does look a little bit brighter, as it should. It's rated at 180 more lumens than the Ultra Definition. Now these are both 2700K bulbs. This one does look a little bit bluer than this one. And I don't know if that's perception or if that's actually the bulb. So if I put my ears up to these, the older bulb is humming a little bit and the Ultra Definition is silent. So let's try dimming these. I'll actually shut them off. And I'm just going to turn it up to 1%. So here we're at 1%. Let's see what that looks like on the bulb itself. And at 1%, it looks like this one's a little bit brighter than this one. Let's go up to about 50%. So that's at 50%. I'd say they look about the same. You know, I don't have a light meter, but I'd say they're relatively close. So I think I'm going to switch the bulbs between the two fixtures, and you can kind of see what it looks like on the left one here with the old bulb. Let's see what the new one looks like in there. Okay, so I have the Ultra Definition in here now, and you can see it's more of a circle shape. Now that's more defined on camera than it is in person, but I would guess that the ultra definition looks more like a traditional light bulb than my 10-year-old Philips lamp. Now the old Philips in here, this diffuses it very well, so you can't really see the bulb inside of it. But I would say this lens probably looks a little bluer than this one. So it's hard to say if my color perception of the blue light in the old bulb is there, but supposedly the ultra definition is better in that regard. So that was a comparison of my 10-year-old Philips LED bulbs and the newer ultra definition bulbs. I am going to be switching to these ultra definition bulbs. I actually have 2 of these old bulbs. I am going to keep them. I'll put them somewhere else, but I wanted to try these out long term. But thus far, my 10-year-old ones have been working great. I think the big difference I'll notice here is that these hum just a tiny bit when they're dimmed, and these do not, so they'll be a little bit quieter. So that's all I'm going to cover in this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.